Now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard.
Welcome to the Dynamic Hour. Again, another opportunity that you and I have to dialogue using radio and social media. I want to encourage those on Facebook, please share the live. Sharing is caring. If you are viewing me on YouTube, do the same thing. Share the live so as many people as possible can get the opportunity to view, to listen, to follow. I want to start off today by saying to you, there are a lot of people who were put to shame in recent days by the Royal Grenada Police Force breakthrough into the murder at BBC Beach. There were a lot of people who had no confidence in the Royal Grenada Police Force ability to solve that particular case. And, I say to people, I came on this program and I say to people, the Royal Grenada Police Force has a 90-something% crime solving rate. And they have been recognized regionally and internationally for their ability to solve crime, to catch those who are involved in criminality. And we are seeing that today. But there are so many people who hate our own and who will doubt the potential of our own, that they are quick to talk down or run down or say bad things about our own men and women in uniform. And the same folks who criticize the RGPF, who say all kind of bad stuff about them, they're not going to come back and apologize. They're not going to come back and commend the efforts of the Royal Grenada Police Force. No, they will not. And that is the shameful part. So they come forward, they attack the Royal Grenada Police Force, they spread all kinds of misinformation out there because their hope is to demoralize the Royal Grenada Police Force. Their hope is to see the Royal Grenada Police Force on its knees. So then they would come back and say, well, I told you so. But they're not getting what they want. So I want to again commend the Royal Grenada Police Force on getting that major breakthrough into this particular case. It was one that saw regional and international attention given to it. We had celebrities actually coming forward and offering money, making certain statements and so on. But I say to people, just give the Royal Grenada Police Force your support, give them the resources, and they will get the job done. And when they get the job done, we must be quick to commend them, to applaud them. There are too many people in this country who like the negativity, who like to pull down, tear down, mash up. That is what they want. And they're the last to even come out and say, you did a wonderful job. Congratulations. And that is what we have had over the many years in Grenada. There are too many negative thinking people in this country. And you always doubt your own. And that is why under the NNP, it was a kind of foreigner syndrome. You know, you get somebody outside to come in and tell the people what a local person has been telling them for a long time. That is what happened under NNP. We have seen that under NNP. You have competent people here who could do the job. But no, they will not take these people. They're going to go and get a foreigner or a foreign company to do it. But under the NDC, we are seeing a different approach. We saw it with the furniture making for the schools, where they engage the local furniture makers right here in Grenada to make furniture for schools. And they did an excellent job, a fantastic job. And the money stayed right here in the hands of our people, because the NDC believes in our people, in our people's ability to get the job done, to do the job. But under the NNP, it was a situation where, you know, the foreigner could do it better, although our people are able to do it. They're competent enough to do it. But we are breaking the back of that to give our people the opportunity. Our police officers, they are competent, they are qualified, they're doing an excellent job. And you know, those haters, those obstructionists, when they do all of this, so they throw some rumor out there, they throw some propaganda out there, they throw some false information out there, or they attack this or they attack that. Once they are put to shame, they don't come out and apologize. They don't come out and acknowledge that they were wrong. They just move to something else to criticize, something else to condemn, something else to attack, something else to be negative about. That is how they have been functioning in the last 14 months. And we are getting to them. In other words, we are putting them to shame. We are exposing them every single day. They are being exposed. And that's the good thing with technology and with the competence that exists within government. Those obstructionists, those haters are put to shame every single time. And our people are becoming more and more aware, more and more knowledgeable. And our people are following current affairs. You know, that thought was in my mind. The NNP supporters, pundits, mouthpieces, they are running scared. That is what was playing in my mind. We are exposing them every time, and they are running scared. They are not able to control the narrative. And mind you, we are doing a good job in providing information to our people, disseminating credible information to our people, home and abroad. But let me just play that piece with ACP Vanny Cohen.
Today, I do wish to announce that the RGPF has, in fact, solved the Jonty murder case. Someone currently is in police custody, whom we hope to charge later today or over the weekend for the death of Jonty. It's a 29-year-old male who resides in the south of the island. At this point, we do not wish to release the name of the individual, as this investigation is still ongoing even as we speak. But I do promise you, members of the media and the public, that sometime over the weekend into next week, we will make a release providing all of the details regarding the identity of the accused person. So to recap, we have successfully made a significant breakthrough in the murder case of Jonty. I know the public has had some concerns over this matter. We have had several calls, both locally, regionally, and internationally. In fact, there have been calls from certain circles that we should extend or we should accept assistance from outside of the region. But we continue to see that the men and women of the RGPF is committed to the task at hand in solving all of the cases that we are currently investigating. we have the expertise, we have the experience.
Yes. So again, I want to commend the Royal Grenada Police Force for that major breakthrough in this matter. And look, those haters of progress, those obstructionists will not stop throwing out false information out there, even when the facts are on the table. They will still ignore the facts and move with disinformation, misinformation, scandal. That is how they function. But you know what is the good thing? We have a government who is focused on getting results, who is focused on fixing things, who is focused on transforming Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Matnik and providing our people with better opportunities. So they are not those ministers of government and our beloved prime minister and so on. They are not bogged down with all of these things. They are not concerned about all these propaganda and scandal and all kind of rubbish coming from the NNP, from the obstructionists. They're not bothered. They're focused. Their eyes are on the mission. And I love that. We will take them on. We, the people, will take them on, right? Because we are not going to allow them to get away with all the misinformation and scandal and so on that they're putting out there. But I am really happy that they're talking, and our beloved prime minister is not even, bothered. He's not even concerned about all the stupidness that they're saying. They just continue to deliver. They continue to fulfill their promises to the electorate and to the Grenadian people. And I really, really, really appreciate that. They're not caught up with all this stupidness from the NNP. But I want to say to you, listen to this particular question or statement mixed up with a question from Linda Streaker. And that is why I say over and over, be very careful with some of these people who say that they are journalists, who say that they are reporters. I'm going to play a piece for you, which is very important, right? And I'm going to put it to you that these people, in my belief, cannot be trusted because they go with hidden agendas to these press conferences. Do not underestimate that. And I say to people, do not trust the publications coming from Linda Streaker. Do not trust it. It's important that you understand where I'm coming from. These people they're not operating the way they're supposed to as journalists, in my belief. So they go out there and they ask certain questions, but you must get from the questions that they're asking where it's coming from, what camp it's coming from, and what they're hoping to achieve. Very, very important. Let me just play that for you, that piece here. It is important as we educate ourselves in this time and day. Yeah, easy. NDC and have it easy. Trust me. Listen.
At the same news conference earlier, a question was raised regarding the government minister who was in that vehicular accident. Are you now in a position to tell us whether he has been charged or not?
No, Mr. Rika, I'm not in a position to say that. I don't know whether or not he has or have not been. I have not followed up since the press conference. You could understand why. It has been busy days for us doing all of what we're currently doing. Being here again today announcing the announcement that we have just made is, tantamount to how committed we are to the weightier matters. Not that your query is not significant, but you could understand the energies are being directed into places that giving us the success that we're currently announcing.
At the same news conference earlier, a question was raised regarding the government minister who was in that vehicular accident. Are you now in a position to tell us whether he has been charged or not?
No, Mr. Rika, I'm not in a position to say that. I don't know whether or not he has or have not been. I have not followed up since the press conference. You could understand why. It has been busy days for us doing all of what we're currently doing. Being here again today.
Good. But you understand, huh? That piece I just played for you. Do you know if he has been charged or not? Charged for what? It's just stupid. Did Ron do anything wrong? It's amazing. What is the agenda of these people? Let me now again play the video of the accident or incident where this individual, lose control, fell from his bicycle, and ended up on the tire also of, or the rim or tire of Ron's oncoming vehicle, Ron's vehicle, right? It's amazing, And what I love is that it's Willis, huh? The area was in Willis, and you don't have many houses in Willis with cameras. Don't play with God, Don't play with God. This particular incident took place where there was a camera. Strangely, where there was a camera. So in all the area, the Willis don't have many cameras to talk about. I'm telling you, on houses and so on. But that particular area, it just had to happen there because if there was no camera, water couldn't wash the Honorable Ron Redded. I'm telling you, because they were out for him. Don't play with God. Don't underestimate the power of God. So it's amazing, boy. And do you know that a certain individual who was beaten badly in the polls is trying to make this thing a political thing, Going and visit family, going with police, sending his vehicle with the police, with the individual, trying to get them to do something what can they really do in such a matter? It's just a big joke, right? And if you're a astute politician and you follow in this particular matter, you would shut your mouth and not venture there, because I posted that video of Ron and the whole incident, and almost 60,000 people viewed that particular video on Facebook. Almost 60,000. Junior George posted that on his platform. And I am certain, because at the time when I looked at his numbers, 20-something thousand people or so viewed that particular video. Mikey Hutchinson, he posted that video. And at the time, I think it was about 30-something thousand people. And by now, maybe it's close to 40 who actually viewed that video. And when you look at the comment, all you need to do, if you're an astute politician, if you understand politics well, all you need to do is to just go and read the comments from Grenadians who actually viewed the video. And all of them could tell you, well, Ron didn't bounce the guy. They could say it clear cut. Ron didn't bounce the guy. The guy ended up on Ron's vehicle because he actually fell from his bicycle way before and ended up there. And if Ron was driving fast, that guy would have been he would have been injured more seriously, right? He would have been in I don't even want to say, right? And that's what people are saying based on seeing the evidence. But you have this individual who was badly beaten at the polls, going to the family, going up there, trying to do something. And I'm asking, what can you really do? The evidence is clear. So the Grenadian people already ruled on this particular matter. It's amazing. But let me play the video for you again. situation. Any driver. It just happened to be the Honorable Ron Redhead. But any driver could have been in that particular situation. It could have been the same individual who trying to make this a whole political thing, dig up all kind of stuff, doing all kind of mess, making a clown of himself. It could have been him. It could have been his family. Right? But I am so thankful to God Almighty that this thing occurred there and there were cameras right there so that this evidence can be on the table. But the NNP, they are not interested in evidence. They are not interested in fact. They are interested in gossip. They are interested in misinformation. And some of those so-called reporters and journalists, they too are interested in gossip, misinformation, and scandal. That is what they are interested in. That is why that profession continues to lose the respect from the general public. That particular profession. They're not held in high regard. They're seen as doing the bidding of politicians, of special interest groups and individuals. Because the majority of them, they are not properly paid. And that is why the NDC administration is trying to adjust their wage, the minimum wage for them, because they're not properly paid. A lot of them, if you check it out carefully, they're working for pittance, very little. So any politician could pull them on their side as long as they're treating them well, as long as they're giving them certain things. I'm telling you, I know about a lot of these people. They're not working for anything much, hand to mouth, right? Or I would even venture to say that they're mouth on the ground, a lot of them, a lot of those in that profession, mouth on the ground. So they're easily bought and easily sold. And they are in this kind of cobweb where they wanted the NNP, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them, they wanted the NNP to be in power. And all that they did to cause people to believe otherwise about the NDC did not succeed. Did not succeed. So they're living in regrets. Because mind you, they were almost 100% with the NNP, you know. Yeah, pushing the narratives of the NNP. They always treated the NDC differently. When the NDC had press conferences, a lot of them, they were not covering it. They were not featuring it. No, they would not even show up to the press conferences and so on because they thought the NNP was coming back in power. So a lot of them were actually with the NNP. Plenty of them. Yeah. And because, let me say, because people generally see that particular group as the money spenders, and they see them as that too. They could spend a lot of money, so they go get ads and they go get this and they go get special gigs and so on. But they were disappointed because I was out here for many years, the sole voice out here for many years, challenging what was taking place under the NNP. Yes, and they were not highlighting it. They were not talking about it. It was Kem Jones during the morning time and during the night time, consistently so, taking on the NNP administration on many different fronts and issues. They were not talking about it. I was actually doing it, educating our people, enlightening our people on it. So while they were pushing certain narratives and certain agenda, they did not succeed. In fact, a person who has been in this business for a long time was saying to me, Kem Jones, boy, you really win me, you beat me. Because that individual was able to massage information and throw it out there using the guise of a journalist. You only recently had a good back and forth with the old cock on the whole convention issue, right? The old cock. He had that back and forth with him. But I was able to bring the evidence to the people over the many years and educate people on what was taking place, right? The NNP pundits and surrogates right now, they can't do that. They're not able to do it because they're not coming from a genuine place and they don't have what it takes to do such a thing. Most of them, when they come on their programs, they sound dunce. Most of them, when they come on their program, they sound arrogant. Most of them, when they come on their program, they look ill prepared. They're not even able to string a little sentence together. People are not, moved by their podcasts or their programs. They're not able to get people to follow them and to believe in them, and people are just not gravitating towards their message. And some of them just pop up recently, but there are those who have been around for a while, pushing the NNP narrative, pushing the NNP propaganda and misinformation. And they have not been able to get people to believe in them and follow them. But I have been able over the many years, when I speak, it's authority speaking. When I speak, people learn. When I speak, people are motivated. When I speak, people are enlightened. When I speak, I get people to do stuff in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, and in the diaspora. So they're grappling with that reality that Kim Jones is out here and he consistently marshals the troops and get the job done. So we are defending our party, promoting our party, defending our government, and promoting our government, and putting the positive stuff on the table. In fact, the mindset of our people are beginning to change. I go into different forums, and the conversation is different from in the past, where it was just about the negative, the negative, the negative, the negative, the negative, the negative. People are now understanding that this place is our home. This is our home, and we want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We want to shift the paradigm where our people can be prosperous again, where our people can be, given opportunities again. That is what we want for our country. And I am saying to you, we are doing a good job. And it's taking root. I told you I don't do things by guess. I don't do things by guess. I have plans, I set goals, and I work towards them. I want to commend that family who contacted me on Thursday. They're here. You were able to get your birth certificate. You were able to get your passport renewed and so on. And you are now ready to register to participate in the election. I want to commend also a good friend who is here, who came back, was able to get that birth certificate and is ready to register during this week coming up. I want to also commend another 3 individuals who are here, and they're here for a funeral, and they too will get registered during this week coming up. So our Grenadian brothers and sisters are taking heed, and you understand that call that I made when I indicated to you that the next election will be determined not only by our brothers and sisters here in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique going out there and vote, but you, the folks in the diaspora, participating in the election, coming back, registering and coming back and voting to keep this transformation agenda alive and well. And I told you the target. We are seeking to have thousands of people in the diaspora, our brothers and sisters, register between now and the next election. We want that to happen. So we will work towards that. I took it as a pet project. I told you between now and homecoming, 50th independence celebration, we need our brothers and sisters to register. To register, do not come to Grenada. Do not return to Grenada and fail to register to vote. You may not get your voter's identification card one time, but if you are registered between now and the election, you will get that card. And you don't need the card to vote. Once you are registered, you're eligible to vote. You have a right to vote. So I want to encourage you, my brothers and sisters out there in the diaspora. I know you are taking heed. I know you understand. When Kem Jones speaks on this program, I don't do things by guess. I don't do things by accident. And I am politically savvy enough to understand where things will head. And whenever I speak on this program, it comes to pass. Whenever I say certain things, it comes to pass. Because I am not whooping. Right? And I have demonstrated that over and over and over again. So I'm urging you, folks in the diaspora, and I want to commend you firstly, because you're doing what I told you must be done. The traffic, the amount of people who have called me, saying I'm coming down, Kemboy. I'll be down next month, I'll be down next week, I'll be down this time and that time. And I will get registered so I can participate in the next election. I am grateful to you. I am thankful to you. You know, sometimes you just cry, I can't cry, you know, tears of joy. But deep down, I love you and I appreciate you. And I want to encourage you, please, when you come to Grenada for funerals, for weddings, for vacation, for different activities and so on, please, I urge you to register to vote. And I am here to assist you. I am here to assist you to get registered. So have no fear. You know my number. My number is the easiest number to remember. 1473 415 4817. It is easy to remember. So I want to urge you, let us work together, because this transformation agenda requires your support, unwavering support, total support. And we could do it. I told you the last time, in the lead up to the election, to call your family members and friends back home, encourage them to vote, encourage them to support the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team, and you did so. I told you, you send barrels. I told you, you send stuff, money, remittances, and so on, to your family members. The level of influence you have, you just can't imagine, right? You have to utilize that. And you did. You called your family members back home. You encourage them to register. You encourage them to vote. Don't forget that. They went out in record numbers and voted. You activated some of those NDC supporters who are dormant. You activated them. You caused them to wake up and go and vote. And that I am eternally grateful to you for. A lot of people don't understand what took place and the amount of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora who came back to vote I know because I was involved in the process of making sure that you return. So I know. That is why I was not guessing this. I operate with a plan, right? Precisely so. So again, it's a clarion call to you to register, register, register. We can't wait until close to the election to do that. Nah, it's not going to happen this time. Because NDC could do all those good things in this country, and the NNP supporters will never appreciate it, and a lot of them will still go back and vote for the NNP because they are about party before country. So you could fix roads, and we see a lot of roads are being constructed, are being built. Plenty roads, drains, just name it. A lot of housing assistance is being given to our people. So a lot is happening. And don't even talk about the human resource aspect of things. What the NDC was able to achieve, where they invested in people. But here it is. All of that, and still those NNP supporters will still go back and vote for NNP. So I know, I'm fully aware of what will happen. So our NDC supporters here in Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, must participate, must go out in record numbers and vote for the NDC to keep the NDC in power for a very, very, very long time. But our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, you must know your power. We have 20 times the amount of Grenadians living outside of Grenada than inside of Grenada. And right now, the folks in the diaspora really appreciate the NDC administration and the most honorable Deacon Mitchell. I mean, it's like the support outside there. It's far more, in my belief, than here in Grenada, because these people understand what it will take to transform this country. So I want to say again, kudos. I appreciate you. I'm really happy to see what is happening in the diaspora. The folks are organizing in New York, the chapter, they're doing an excellent job. In Florida, they're doing an excellent job. In other states in the United States, they're organizing to set up chapters. In Canada, they're doing an excellent job in Canada. In England, they have a gala coming up, big event coming up too, right? So things are happening. Florida, you know that there's a gala on October the 14th, Saturday, October the 14th. So a lot is happening for the NDC in the diaspora. People are giving their total support. Just the numbers of people who came back for Carnival is a clear indication of the kind of support that this government has in the diaspora. If you understand the politics, you will know. Once people come in record numbers to your Carnival and so on, yes, we know a lot of work is being done to promote and so, but people see Grenada now as a place that they can come, enjoy themselves, spend time. In fact, a lot of our people are coming back home, building and retiring back home. They feel good doing that because this administration is people-centered. This administration is working extremely hard to turn things around for our people, and we are grateful for that. So we have to keep doing what we are doing. Do not expect the NNP supporters to go to sleep and allow the NDC to peacefully govern. No, they will not. In fact, I saw a piece from a particular person who had me on his tablet computer, my actual program on his tablet computer and he was narrating, speaking. So he muted me, but you can see me in the background on the tablet, and he was speaking about something in Telescope. And in his wrap-up, he mentioned my name and, don't expect Kem Jones and his, soldiers and whatever he said to do this and do that to save the NDC and so on and so forth. But he doesn't understand. I am not operating by myself. I was sent to do what I am doing. This vocation, what I am doing now, I was sent to do it. I didn't have to. Remember, I could have accepted that offer that was given to me. I could have been island hopping, right? Rolling out an initiative that I pioneered. I could have been out there. Do not underestimate that. I could have been out there. I could have accepted that and no Kem Jones, right? But I decided to accept the call and the vocation of being on air, advocating, educating, enlightening, empowering, motivating our people for change. And change came. Yes, it was long. Yes, it was hard. Yes, it was challenging, but it came. And some people downplay my role in the outcome of the election. But deep down they know, right? And they continue to downplay and underestimate my role in this transformation agenda and in making sure that this agenda succeeds and in making sure that NDC remains in power for the next 3 to 4 elections, 15 to 20 years, right? And I love the fact that they underestimate my role and what I am doing and what I continue to do in this process, right? In fact, I was in a gathering on the weekend, but let me say yesterday, with an individual who wants to be leader of a particular political party. I told him he will not be unless he did what a certain individual did to Papa Blaze. And I mean, some competent people were there, plenty folks there, and a young chap stood up and he said, a lot of you underestimate the role that Kem Jones played and the role that he continues to play in guaranteeing the transformation of this country. I am not a man in some ministry. I am not a man on some board or some guy with some big high office. No. I am a servant of the people. I am a simple individual. In fact, I said I am not a diplomat. I'm a flowmat. I'm simple, right? But I understand my calling and what I am doing. I'm not doing this by accident or by guess. I have to do this. This is my calling. For Grenada to be transformed, NDC has to remain in power for the next 15 to 20 years. And we must ensure that happens. It has to be that project to guarantee that. And I tell you this, my God has never failed me yet. Every single thing I touch is successful. In fact, if you are barren and you cause me to touch you, you might just become fruitful and start multiplying. You might just become fertile and start multiplying. I'm telling you, if I touch you, in other words, I can put a seed on concrete and it will grow. Yeah, it will germinate and bring forth fruits. But I hope you understand what I'm saying. That is the gift. This thing don't happen by accident. You have a lot of people out there on programs doing podcasts and, you talk radio this and talk radio that. But the numbers are always very low and they're not being talked about. They're not considered to be educators, motivators. They're not being seen as controlling the narrative in this country. No, they can't. And no matter what they do, I come with the vibes. I come with the energy. I come with that magnetic touch and feel. It's different. You have plenty of them out there. But if you go and you ask in a school, who do you know? You say Kem Jones. You go in a bar, who do you know? Kem Jones. You on the bus, who do you know? Kem Jones. So when I speak, someone say, you're the chap on the radio? Because my voice is conspicuous. And I told you that everyone will know my name and everyone will know Kem Jones. I told you that many years ago. Because this is not by accident. This is not by guess. I have been threatened on umpteen occasions with pre-action letters and from all different corners. But I'm still standing. Not one of those matters went to court. Actual court to say that they can hold me liable. I stood tall. This is a calling. This is a vocation. I could have been somewhere else easily, doing something else. So we have to continue to do what we are doing to guarantee this transformation. And all of us have a role to play. Do not underestimate your role. There are people who don't know me, period. They never knew me before. And when they get to know me through radio and so on, they start appreciating me more and more. In fact, yesterday, I dropped from the bus, because I use public transport. I dropped from the bus on Market Hill, because I normally go to the market every Saturday. Once I can make it every Saturday, and I go to the market in St. George's. So I dropped from the bus and I walk down Market Hill. And I met two ladies. And she said, but you're the guy that I follow on social media. I mean, they're from overseas. I mean, they're Grenadians, but they're based overseas. In fact, she told me she hasn't been in Grenada for 26 years. So after 26 years, she returned for a short period, And she then turned around and she said, man, I listen to you overseas and you're doing a wonderful job, And she started explaining to me. She wanted to get to a particular location. So I got her to that location. And while going there, she gave me 100 US, right? So she said, hold that. Buy something, right? And, she took a picture or two. I saw it on Facebook a while ago, where she posted, guess who I saw in town or whatever. But I'm saying, that's the first time she met me. Yeah? But the love, the appreciation, it has to be like that. It will be like that. I told you that people from far and near will support what I do, support me, my family, and everything that I do. Because this is not by accident. I'm not doing this on my own accord, right? Or violation or whatever you want to say. My own action. No. I had to do this, and I must do this. So hence the reason I say to people, I'm not going to be moved. We're going to fulfill what we have to fulfill for the next many years, because Grenada has to be transformed and will be transformed. And I want to commend the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team. And do not underestimate me saying the Most Honorable, because a lot of people out there, when I say that, they just get angry. They will get blue, pissed. And we have to start saying that wherever you go. The Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Don't just say Prime Minister, our beloved Prime Minister. You have to start staying. You see, these things, these little things, they matter because over time, it will start a certain movement. The consciousness of our people will be awakened. So you have to start speaking it into life. The most honorable, and stress it, the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, our beloved Prime Minister. You have to say it. Yeah. Very important. Very, very important. When I tell you about patriotism, there's some people who are angry, you know. When I told you, if you are patriotic, you want good for your country, you want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, you're not going to go there and talk your country bad and always complaining and throwing out all kind of negativity. Don't do it. No, stop. Let's speak about the positive things. Let's promote the positive things about Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. You know, normally when I say those things, they normally get angry. They get pissed. There's a certain individual, you know, she did a little piece of a live or whatever, you know, usual arrogant way, and she injected that there. But I know where she got it from. I am saying we have to become patriotic, genuinely patriotic, that we love our country so much that we are not going to talk bad about our country and be negative. We're going to be positive and you know, forward thinking. We're going to become more conscious on issues and so on. As I always say, look at Barbados. A lot of things happening in Barbados. A lot of murders, a lot of crime happening in Barbados. But they don't publish all these things because they understand the bigger picture, the greater good. The greater good. They understand that. You know, it's like somebody knowing that there is this vehicle and, you know, the individual driving the vehicle intends to commit some crime, maybe drive the vehicle in some crowd or something. So the individual knows that. And instead of having that individual drive that vehicle into the crowd and kill or injure a lot of people, women, children, and other people and so on, what that individual does is do something to the vehicle. So the vehicle can't drive, or the person can't drive the vehicle the way it's supposed to. You understand the point? And the individual may perish, may die. But for the greater good here is he actually caused the 10,000 people in that crowd to be alive. The greater good. So that is how we must think. The greater good. Our country should come first. It's country over party. The greater good. That's important. And let us continue to do things on that path. The greater good. We want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and the PT Martinique. And no one will stop that. Don't allow those obstructionists, those who belong to the complaining industry, those haters of progress. Do not allow them to prevent that from happening. Grenada belongs to us. And we want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And it will happen. We're going to see it through. We're going to make sure that it happens. So I want to wish you all the best on this Sunday. I want to thank the 700 plus people who are actually viewing me live on Facebook and YouTube, jointly, both of them put together. I want to thank you because you have no program in Grenada that will get that kind of viewership, right? No program. In fact, the NDC program was a while ago, and they can't get that kind of numbers to view. That's the NDC party program. They can't get that kind of numbers to view them live. It just wouldn't happen, right? The NNP could have their program. It will never happen. They can't get that kind of numbers to view them live. And that is why we stand out over and over again. So I want to thank you, those who shared the program, those who like, those who follow, those who subscribe to the channel on YouTube and so on. I want to thank you. for making this program the #1 program on a Sunday. There was a program, Kellen Bob Report or the Bob Report. He can't get that kind of numbers no matter what he does. Right? Can't get it. What other Sunday program? The one up north, if you make a peep to look and see the numbers, it's terrible. Terrible. People don't follow. And remember, our program is carried on radio just like their program. And Vibes FM is one of the most popular programs, stations, on Island, Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Very, very popular. Vibes 101.3 FM or 106.3 FM. Right? So it's not just on social media, YouTube or Facebook or TuneIn, the app. We're actually on radio too, connecting with people, letting them know what's going down, and it's bringing forth fruits. So I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Take good care. Peace and love. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful